Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today with Ran Deng, the Midnight Samurai. Bro, I should have checked the pronunciation of your name. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, nah, you got it perfect.
Perfect, man. Man, that name's quite interesting. And I heard that you're South Sudanese, bro. Is that a common sort of name over there?
Yeah, Deng is a super common name. It's like every second person almost has that name, you know. It's like a spiritual thing. It's like almost a prophet in a lot of the tribes in South Sudan.
Yeah.
So you'll find a lot of people with that name, like you've got Moses Deng in Perth.
Yeah, I saw Moses Deng fight before.
Yeah, so it's a quite common name, so it's pretty cool.
Man, the name, because I'm actually living in China, bro. You look up that name and there's quite a few Asian people called Ran Deng as well, bro. Like the name across different countries.
It's interesting, eh? There might be a bit of a relation there, eh? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
Bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're an MMA fighter, bro. The other day I was chatting with Nugget McNaught, the OG of Australian Muay Thai and fighting arts, and I asked him who's a good guy that's an up and coming gun fighter to have a chat to, and he said you. So that's a compliment in itself. The OG saying that you're an up and coming star that we should pay attention to, bro. Is that true?
Hey, that's massive props. You know, that's the coach. That's the OG. You know, just listening to everything he says. You know, I've been here for like about 2 years and a bit, and just everything he gives me, I'm just taking it and running with it. You know, it's just a lot of knowledge he's spreading down into me that he's picked up over the 30 years he's been in the game. You know, so it's awesome.
Man, the interesting thing about NTG and Nugget is, a lot of the Thai boxers and Thai boxing traditionalists will just stick with that and won't change. But I can see he has interest in the MMA, UFC, and obviously he's got a few fighters coming up that are training with him, not only in Muay Thai but also in MMA. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's super cool. You know, obviously we got Rocky and Ricky doing their boxing, and then we got the Tafas doing their MMA. So it's like, sort of NTG's adapting with the times, it's becoming more expanding in different combat sports, It's not just the Thai boxing anymore.
That's it, man. How is it with the toughest, bro? You get to train with them and all? They must outweigh you a bit, but you get to do anything?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like, I learn so much from them. Like, even when they're not here out in the world doing their thing, just watching them, I'm like, man, it's such a privilege being able to train with those guys, And there's a reason they're at the highest level doing what they do, and they show it, like, every day, whether it's on a Wednesday night on the floor or whether it's on the biggest stage.
That's it, man. I can't wait till that Sydney UFC. We got one of the boys fighting there, right?
Yeah, we got Justin fighting on there. He's I think he's running it back with Austin Lane.
Yeah,
which will be a gangster,
He's
going to put it on that.
Hey, man. So tell us about yourself, bro. What kicked off your interest in martial arts and fighting, and where did you begin with it?
I think it's always been an interest of mine because I've always been like a super rowdy, athletic, like young kid, just, wanting to do things, interested in things, like just growing up having a love for WWE and just like, comics and cartoons and stuff. It sort of always intrigued me, but like obviously having like strict parents, they'd be like, no, there's no way you're ever doing that. And then sort of just coming up into getting out of school, it's like, damn, I have to do something with myself, occupy myself. And it's like, what am I interested in and what can I do? What am I good at? And, it's like, man, like this UFC thing is cool, like I remember watching Izzy and Rob Whittaker #1, I was at work that day and then I watched it. I was like, bro, this is super cool, like this, I reckon this is something I could do. One day just started searching up gyms and I was like, man, I just gave it a go, hopped in a gym and, I've been stuck in it ever since.
Nice, bro. What did you kick off with? Did you kick straight into MMA or you started with Muay Thai?
A bit of more than Muay Thai. I went to some MMA gyms and I was like, yeah, cool. But obviously, seeing guys that have like a similar frame to me, I was like, man, these guys are like strikers, So I was like, man, I need to go somewhere where the strikers are. Came up on NTG, just came here.
Yeah, man. So do you see yourself as like as a good example? You mentioned Izzy and Rob. Izzy's style is obviously heavily striking. Rob's is kind of in a way too, but a bit more wrestling. Do you see yourself kind of following along that sort of lines where you work on your defense but use your frame and that as more of a striking base?
Yeah, most definitely. Like using the physical advantages that I've been given, God gifted, and I'm just building off of that. obviously, you know, still incorporating like the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu, but you know, when you've got like a long reach, you want to use it. You know, you want to be able to use it as much as you can.
Yeah, man, you look like an athletic guy in that. In your fight, your recent fight, what was the gentleman's name that you fought against? Bimah Rowe. You look
Yep.
very athletic, bro. You look very explosive and athletic, man.
Yep.
And he was like McGregor said about Khabib, diving for the legs, bro, because he didn't want to stand with you at all.
Diving for the hips, yeah. It was crazy. I didn't expect it to be so early and so like straight back and forth. I thought he was gonna stand up a bit, but you know, it was. I think I did well, but you know, there's just those little areas to work on where guys are just gonna be shooting down when I'm trying to strike with them. So you know, that was a learning curve, important learning curve.
To be honest, bro, people don't really want to see that. They want to see the striking integrated a little bit more than that fight, right? But I think if he'd given you a chance to strike, it might have been lights out.
Yeah, it might have been a problem, eh? Because the second I kind of got that space, I was just went running with it. I was like, man, I really need to put it on this guy, you know, because he doesn't want to stand up with me.
Yeah. Hey, bro, how relentless are you with the grappling and the wrestling? Because obviously, you know, if you like striking, it's easy to get stuck in that. And in the Australian scene, the Kiwi scene, you can kind of get away with it a little bit more than some of the other countries. So then when you go out, you're going to have the wrestling. So is that something you concentrate on a lot?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I've got my coach, Alvi here. He's my jiu-jitsu coach. And then I've got the wrestling that I do along with the Tafas, which you know, I'm trying to mix in the both and really work on my game in that area, because I understand, like, you know, here, like you said, we've got good strikers on this side of the world, so it's like it's not hard to find a striker matchup. But then, you know, when we're versing Europeans or the Americans, you know, it comes into that. These guys are going to really wrestle, you know. They've been doing it since they were young, so we've got to be good at that.
Yeah, exactly, man. And do you see yourself, like, firstly, obviously you're just kicking out, bro. You got your starting out in the amateur career. What is your plan, man? Is your goal just to kind of take the amateur title in Australia first? Is that the first step?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, just work up the ranks and earn my stripes slowly but surely. Just pick up those amateur matches and then you know, see what's happening in the pros. But you know, baby steps. You know, but I feel like I've got it all here at NTG, and I just see the levels and you know, see how the guys that are at that level carry themselves. You know, seeing the Rocky, the juniors, you know, everybody here. You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, countless champions in Muay Thai, and now the foray into MMA, bro. You're under good tutelage. You know, it's a good gym to be at. And Nugget, I know Nugget takes the training very, very seriously and really pushes people to be, you know, physically ready for fights, right? Like, you have to commit a lot to training, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's an everyday thing. You know, it's like it's not like anything else I've ever done. You know, I've been in other sports and whatnot, but it feels like fighting is a lifestyle. You're either all the way in or you're not doing it at all. You know, it's not like something where you can sit on the fence when you're doing it. It's like,
man, I remember like some little pieces of Nugget from before, like training his guys. I think that particular gym is going to be more serious than others, right? Like Nugget expected a lot out of his Thai boxers. I remember back in the day, like they had to be 100% committed, or you know, they wouldn't be able to train there, I imagine.
100%. Like Nugget always says, he still establishes them old school values, and it's just been the same way since NTG started. You know, just that hard old school training. It's like you know, if you come, you're putting your all in, or you're not doing it at all. You know, especially if you want to be, you know, mentioned in the same sentence as some of the guys that, you know, used to walk these halls. You know, they got certain way, the Soren. You know, it's like I want to be at that level, so you know, I got to work for it.
That's it, man. Can you talk about what it's like to train there, bro? Like, what's a session like at NTG?
A session is super interesting, you know, is whether you're just jumping in the general classes or you're preparing for a fight. So you're doing your one-on-ones with the Nugget. Like, the classes are super cool, and NTG is just expanding every day. You know, it's like we've got the jiu-jitsu over there with Alvi, and he's got the gi with Georgia now, and then you've got the boxing classes with Caleb Gray, which is awesome, and Widgie as well when he's in, and you know, Nugget overseeing everything, and him teaching some of the Muay Thai classes with Max. Yeah, it's just everything. Like, you know, you sort of are spoiled for choice when you come down here. It's like, what do I do? Everything's happening all at once. Like, if you just jump in on Nugget's Instagram, you can see his story around the evening and just see what's going on here.
That's it. And with Nugget, bro, when Nugget's holding pads, how's that feel, bro, compared to other people? Like, what does he do that's different than some of the other guys?
It's like a fight. It's literally a fight. The way he pushes you through the paces. He's like talking to you. It's like it's super mental as much as it is physical, because he's undermining you, throwing things at you, hitting you back, making you move, making you work. It's like damn, this is real deal. It's not like anybody else holding the pads for you. And he's doing this for years now. So it's like he's seen everybody go through this.
Top of the game at that, bro. Yeah. So man, you're obviously still amateur MMA. Are you treating it like you're a professional though? Are you working on the side? Are you training only, or what are you doing?
Training and working on the side. I do. I'm a youth worker, so I do that when I can. Just working and then training. Mixing them both in together. Just trying to train more often. I know that I think it's just I understand that being at NTG, I have that opportunity to be as good as I want to be. It's like everything I have here is available for me. It's just where do I want to take it? So if I want to be at that level, it's like I have to apply more. And that's what I'm trying to do each and every day. Just picking up these amateur fights slowly and just listening to everything Nugget, Mr. D have to tell me.
Man, it can be a hard thing to juggle. Like, are you working like an 8-hour, 5-day-a-week sort of job as well as training?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 days a week of work, and then 6 days of a week of training. So when it's work on the other side of the schedule, it's training on the other end. Just sort of mixing, matching it in, and trying to create more buzz around my name, just so I can take it a bit more seriously. And like you said, definitely taking that amateur like a pro. If you want to be in the pros, it's like you sort of have to adapt to that mindset already. So when you're in there, you're prepared. It's not you're just diving into the deep end. Yeah.
How do you mix it up, bro? Because obviously, it's hard to fit it all in. Do you do just one session of training a day, or you try and squeeze 2 around work?
When I have an opportunity to get 2 in, I'll get 2 in. Train some jiu-jitsu, then train a bit of striking. I think it's much easier at NTG to train the striking because everyone's doing the striking. So to mix it up with the jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu coaches, and doing the wrestling with the Tafas when I get the chance, just mixing it up when I can.
And then what about the things on the side, bro? Like resistance training, strength and conditioning, and that. Do you get a chance to do that, or no real time?
Yeah, for sure. We have a gym set up here, so I have a little program I'll go through, and I'll do my strength and conditioning here at NTG, which is good. Everything under one roof.
And what about diet and that, bro? Do you pay much attention to that, or not really thinking about that too much yet?
as much as I can. I'm lucky because I stay close to my fight weight, and I don't put too much weight on when I start to be a bit of a pig. But so I'm blessed to stay close to fight weight. Just when I get the call, it's like I'm ready to go.
Something to look at in the future. Maybe you can hit a lighter weight, bro, if you just muck around with it. You never know. Hey, just looking, you're Sudanese, born in Egypt, but I see another Sudanese guy, pretty sure, that Abdalla Biayda. He's Sudanese, right?
He's a gun from Kick-Ass.
He's a gun, bro. Like, he's a terrifying fighter, bro. Do you look at him and something to work up to? Because his output is the main thing, right? He just doesn't stop, yeah?
He just doesn't stop. And just seeing all of his fights, I was lucky enough to be able to see one of his fights when he fought down here at Eternal in Perth, and I think that's the only fight he lost, and he was dominating that fight the entire time until he just got caught in a heel hook real quick. But yeah, just looking up to guys like that with similar frames, similar background, it's like, man, I can do that too, It's like super cool to see that. And now I think he's fighting on Hex for the featherweight title, which is one step for him closer to get that call up, get on that contender series, which is cool.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see him get a bit more known around, man. Like, he took out Josh Kuhn. That was a big win, man, because Kuhn's a hard fighter, man. He's a very tough fight for anyone, and he just overwhelmed him with his pace right at the end.
Yeah. And then, he snuck in that submission and just got it done, which is cool. He's so well-rounded because he's got those submission finishes, and then he's like, he can strike well. So,
yeah. That's it, bro. So Sudanese, born in Egypt. How long you obviously been in Australia a long time, man. You got the accent and everything. So what's your story, bro? About where you started out and when you came here?
So obviously, conflict in South Sudan. We've that's been going on. Had been going on for years. My parents just wanted a better life for all of their kids, so they moved over to Egypt, and I was born there in 2000. we spent 2 years there before being blessed enough to come over here to Australia. So I've been here since I was 2. You know, yeah, it's been great ever since.
So you're in up in Ipswich area. Is there a lot of Sudanese people around that you can your family can relate with in that?
Yeah, 100%. We've got a big South Sudanese community here in Ipswich, and also on the south side of Brisbane, Logan areas, which is good.
No, it's good. It's
Trying
good
to
for you,
get more
especially
of them
good
to
for
come
your
down
parents to have some people they can hang out with for their own culture, right?
Yeah.
How would you
100%.
say the Sudanese culture is, bro? Like, to be honest, I don't know much about Sudanese culture. How would you describe it?
Big on family, big on food, big on culture and tradition. It's always just elders trying to teach us who we are and where we've come from. If many people don't know, South Sudan's only been a nation since 2011, so it's the youngest country in the world, and gained independence. And through that independence, there's a lot of fighting, a lot of lost lives. So just understanding our history and what we've come from to be able to be here now is something big in our culture.
Man, coming from that sort of background, not yourself because you were very young when you came over here, but like your parents as an example, what do they feel about Australia? They appreciate there's pretty peaceful culture in Australia, right? In general.
100%. Australia is a blessed nation. It's just they're so grateful to be here. I can't even explain it in words. It's like we have an opportunity to work, to live, to breathe, to see people we love. And, we just appreciate each and every day.
Yeah, man. And where you guys are is a bit of God's country too, man. Like beautiful beaches, man. It's so beautiful up there.
Yeah, 100%. Queensland, Sunshine State.
Yeah, and then you get the train too, man. So what are you looking at? What are your future plans now? Like immediate future? When you're looking at any fights coming up, and then long term goals.
Looking to jump on some boxing, do Golden Gloves, just stay as busy as I can. Take the MMA super serious. That's my forte, I'd say. So anytime I have an opportunity to jump on Eternal on the Gold Coast, I'm putting my hand up and saying, yeah, I'm good to go, close to fight weight and been training. So anytime Cam hits up our guys, I'm good to go. And just all throughout till the end of the year, trying to look for those opportunities. Then early next year, same thing. Trying to get as many MMA matchups as I can. Boxing, maybe some grappling competitions. Just staying active till, we're ready to go to that next level.
That's good, man. And obviously, long term, you'd like to get into a big organisation, right? Which is nearly the goal of every MMA fighter, right?
100%. That's always the goal. Everyone's always looking at the UFC, but there's millions. There's heaps of other promotions that are doing well as well. You got the Bellator, the One, the PFL is doing well now. Which is good. That's the ultimate goal. But that slow process of picking up the amateur wins, picking up the pro wins, learning, grafting each and every day. Just enjoying the process more so instead of looking all the way at that long journey all the way at the end. Just enjoying it day by day.
Man, it's good. Like you just mentioned about having a stab in boxing, grappling, etc. That's something that sort of comes out a little bit of NTG gym. You got guys like Rocky and that, right? That get into everything. Like Rocky had his MMA fight. He's hitting the boxing really well now. Obviously, a gun Muay Thai fighter yourself, and then there's a couple other guys from the gym too that fight in different competitions, right? In my mind, it's like. That's the true mark of a true martial artist is willing to step in under different rules and fight whatever the rules may be, right?
100%. Like I think there's so many guys at NTG that have fought under different codes, which makes it just sort of a normal thing, just something we do. Like coming up is thinking, if there's a Muay Thai fight, I'm jumping in that. If there's a boxing fight, I'm jumping in that. If it's MMA, I'm jumping in that. Till I'm ready to focus on one thing or venture off into different areas. And being down here, you get to see so many guys that are high level. Like, we're lucky enough to see Liam Parrott come down here, one of the best 40-pound boxers in the world, and him do his thing. Thinking, man, I can box as well, And, you see us doing the grappling, and, you want to be able to do those comps with grappling industries and whatnot. And then, obviously, you got the Muay Thai heritage here at NTG, and you're like, man, I want to be like those guys as well. And then you got the wrestling with the Tafas. I want to wrestle. So it's just you've got everything, all the options, and you just want to, go see the highest level in each and every area before you focus just on the MMA.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's perfect. And at the end of the day, you're seeking to be a prize fighter, and it gives you more options, right, of hitting that prize, bro. You drift through different codes. Yeah. That's it. All right, bro. Well, thanks so much for your time. It's nice to chat, and looking forward to seeing your success in MMA and other codes, man. I can't wait to see you fight again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Toby. Appreciate it.
Cool. No worries, bro.